And we are live?
Yeah, we're live. Verified live.
All right. My name's Steve Jaguar.
And I'm his co-host, Mike Foster. And today we're going to do a little KubeCon wrap-up. No demo, but we have a huge CV that we want to get into. So thanks for joining us on this Saturday.
All right. Welcome once again to your cloud native video newsletter for an impatient world. What do we got on the show? We got a little bit of CrowdStrike, KubeCon.
Yeah, KubeCon wrap-up. Nothing too technical as we're a bunch of marketers that didn't really get to go to too many sessions. But
speak for yourself, marketer.
Oh, I mean, you definitely work in marketing. But yeah, a little ad hoc Toronto session as Steve goes back home. So super excited to drink some margaritas and recap KubeCon. Before we get into the general news, I think we wanted to break up KubeCon into a couple different sections, right? I think there's the event itself, what tech we're interested in, and then maybe some like general complaints, things around the floor, things that are good, things that went bad, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so first section, event. Overall, Detroit, KubeCon, the booth, the keynotes, what do you think?
Well, I saw some of the keynote. It seemed like, this is going to be critical. The whole thing seemed a little lackluster because I thought Valencia was fantastic.
Okay.
You weren't at Valencia, though.
No.
All right. So what's your flip side on that?
So I know people that went to Seattle. They talk amazing things about Seattle. At the time, I think it was in October in 2019, I believe.
Yeah, it's a while ago.
Yeah, so it's been a while. LA, I heard, was crap last year.
No fault of its own.
No fault of its own, just bad timing, a lot of political things. But yeah, Detroit was fun. The events were fun. I'd say there was a little less people than I thought they were expecting.
Well, there was some conflict. They said, "Oh, there's 18,000 people signed up," but there's no way.
Like maybe 7 online and like virtual.
No. Online had like 40,000.
Wow,
there was something crazy on the online number.
Yeah.
So it was confusing, particularly the marketing people were talking about. It didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. I do understand why you have these events in big places, because big places have a lot of hotels and Airbnbs and things like that. I mean, I was talking to a marketing team where they had to rent out Airbnb because everything had been booked up. So from an event standpoint, Detroit was interesting. Can I say that?
I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
I arrived at my hotel and there was a fight in the lobby between 2 women.
Yeah.
That was like fist fight, not like a slappy fight. That was my intro to Detroit. I've been flying for 25 hours. That was weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe bad first impression. It can happen.
Yeah, and Chicago next year in November. So, well, a beautiful city. It's going to be windy.
I actually kind of like Chicago.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on where the event center is, too. They didn't release any details. There's a couple places that could host KubeCon in Chicago, too. So, I think it'll definitely be a little bit better than Detroit, just in terms of hosting, having the different hotels in the area. But from the event standpoint, you get there, you're there for SecurityCon, right? You're there on Monday.
Yeah.
So co-located events, what do you think?
The SecurityCon seemed like people weren't as interested in security, whereas Valencia SecurityCon was like there's some standing room moments. The theaters, and it just seemed like there was a lot less people. Like even you did a 5-minute keynote, like the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of empty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did fill up as the day went on.
Yeah.
Right? You could tell like some people booked their flights on Monday to come in, and it got busier as the day went on. People just show up right to the event. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I just think not a lot of people were super excited to go to Detroit for KubeCon in October.
You think that's what it was?
I think that played a big factor.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
even
Valencia's.
even internally at our company, you know, we get on a list of things you announce and products that you want to talk about, and it was like half of a list of Valencia.
Right.
And everybody who was running a community, even in America, wanted to go to Valencia. But yeah, I mean, I tried, got shut down. So sad.
That's a shame.
Yeah. And then I heard Valencia's food was better.
No, other way around.
Other way around. Detroit's food was better than Valencia.
Detroit's food was better. The sandwich things they did, like one of them, my British friends, Andy Martin, picked up a sandwich and was like, "This is like 8 British sandwiches." There's just so much meat and cheese on it. It was like ridiculous. So we kind of approved of it. Which, if it was good, that tells you how bad the Valencia food was.
Fair enough.
Because the food came out really fast in Valencia, and then they didn't top up the water, so you couldn't buy water.
They ran out of water, right?
So they ran out of water, but all the shops were shut down around it because they wanted a captive audience. Like all sorts of stupid stuff happened in Valencia. There's like, anyway, good and bad, right?
Yeah.
The talks themselves were good, but the food was bad.
Gotcha.
Lovely.
Yeah, and I remember like we had an all-attendee dinner in Detroit, but it was outside of the event. Remember that? The all-attendee dinner? And
outdoors.
It's like, yeah, it was outdoors, and it was 4 degrees.
4 degrees. 4 degrees. Well, they seem to struggle with that. In Valencia, they whacked you on a bus for the all-attendee event, drove you out somewhere where you're like, okay, fine, gave you a single ticket for a drink. You couldn't buy drinks. So once you'd use your ticket, you're like, well, what do I do now? Leave, I guess.
Yeah. Or you do is you go around to other people and you say, hey, are you going? You going? Really?
Yeah.
Or just get all those
or
drink
at the
tickets.
event, go, you don't look like you drink.
Yeah.
Hey, you look like you're Sikh. You probably don't drink. Ticket.
All right. For the last bit, from a tech standpoint, what companies did you see? What things that were announced stood out to you?
Yeah, it's the thing I want. I was watching a different talk and somebody talking about what we do, and he said, "Oh, you should go check out these guys' source graph over there." So I went and talked to them, and they index your Git. Like the search in GitHub is awful. It's not like Google. And what they've done is they've indexed a really vast number of. They put even my crappy personal repos, and they were already indexed. And you can do like full Google detailed searches. And even kind of queries. So like you could probably use their API to do security queries. And it seemed like really quite clever. I was thinking like we could probably partner with, they have a GraphQL API in the background.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you could actually make it a part of another product. So they seemed really ripe for partnering. I mean, the ideas kind of kept flowing. And then I was surprised to find out they said they just got, I think it was Series B. Like 120 million from Andreessen Horowitz. Now we don't have I think a big spender on this one.
Yeah, no big spender today.
But like the word of mouth one I got from them was like they have a $2 billion evaluation. I never heard of them.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Especially a company that's so open that can partner and also get their open source plucked.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty sweet.
That was cool. WebAssembly was a hot topic. I think Docker announcing WebAssembly support. I forget what exactly that was, but that came up a couple of times. I'm surprised that nobody takes on more of the Docker Slim features. Like they're the only ones that really do it. But I think even a security tool should be doing that. It should be looking and saying, what packages are you actually using? Let's get rid of those. Because even if they don't have security vulnerabilities now, possibility of opening up in the future. That was a big one. A lot of managed Kubernetes coming out.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot. Even, I mean, there's the consultants that turn into like, you can tell it was a consulting company that actually developed a dashboard, and now they're like, oh yeah, we're Kubernetes native, and we will manage your control plans for you. It's like, nah, you're a consulting group.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a bunch. I think Section was one. Rafe came out, who's kind of a Rancher competitor as well.
Yeah, which was Spectral Cloud.
Spectral Cloud. Yeah, there's a couple. I'm trying to think of any other hot topic.
There's tons. In the weird category, there was a booth kind of in the back startup area. That I didn't even find it. I could not figure out what they did, but they said we're Siri for Kubernetes.
Siri for
what
Kubernetes?
Do you think that is?
Give me a deployment. Yeah, give me.
I don't know.
Give me an Nginx web server.
Yeah, this is like a total low-no code example. They just talk at your cloud. And
we've over engineered Kubernetes more than it needs to be for like the fourth time.
I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah,
so that was in the weird. Well, you mentioned the WASM. We went to the fireside chat with Scott Johnston, CEO of Docker, and Kelsey Hightower, and I'm continually blown away by how you just throw a simple tech topic, exactly not what I'm doing, and he articulates in this kind of streetwise but super clear way.
Yeah,
why something should be the way.
Docker CEO is a Seth MacFarlane lookalike, right?
Yeah, he also a Seth MacFarlane lookalike.
Yeah, I want to hear his Quagmire impression. Yeah, it was very cool, very articulate. Obviously, you've been doing this for many years.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes complex subjects, and I felt like I kind of knew WASM after he talked, and then I went online and realized I know nothing. So I'm not gonna spout my opinions on that for you.
You got some YouTubing to do.
For sure. Yeah, and he calls that out too at the beginning. He's just like, who knows WebAssembly framework? Like, not that you watch a couple YouTube videos, like who actually works with it, right? Like, yeah, he's very good at managing a crowd, and very good at managing also weird questions. You can tell when you have a bunch of tech people who ask questions, they're not formatted properly. And he actually called it out before. He's just like, think about your question, like narrow it down, and then like when you're ready, raise your hand, kind of thing. Yeah, he just knew all the objections, knew how to handle things properly. So yeah, very talented. Any last things, recommendations for next year? Things.
Oh, next one's in Amsterdam. I kind of feel like that's gonna be a home run.
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody's talking about trying to go. So.
Everybody wants to go to that one, so that'll just make it good and make it popular. Amsterdam just knows how to host.
Yeah, you think it's because it's a U.S. company and they have USD right now, and the euro's not doing so well, so you can afford to do a lot of shows. Because I'm not gonna lie, I understand why you do Detroit, but Open Source Summit was in Austin, and that was way under promoted and attended, but was infinitely better.
Yeah, I heard it rocked. And then when in Dublin afterwards, I heard it was very good.
Yeah. It's just, for some reason, KubeCon North America seems to be the one that they're, I don't want to say cheaping out on, but.
You just did.
All right. Yeah, cheaping out on. All right. That's enough KubeCon talk.
All right.
I think we're getting into the general news.
Nice. We're done? We're back.
Yes.
All right. General news. We have to add it.
I have to add it. Oh, I got to bring the source up.
Production off. Just kind of here. No, it's so much easier when we're not actually in the same room.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, good. It's up.
That's not it.
Huh? Is it not? Oh, I'm showing.
So
Is it this one? I don't know which one's you. Are you? I think you're sharing this window. All right, production issues over here.
Production issues. All
right. Yeah, you got to share the tabs there.
Yeah. So I have that weird issue where I can't flip. Really? Can I not do that? We should have tested this before we started.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Nice.
Yeah, you can. You can like share a specific window. Anyways.
Stop screen. Present. Share screen. So
you can go to Chrome tab. Then you just gotta
one tab at a time.
Yeah. Do it one tab for now.
Bloody hell! All right, fine.
One tab guy. All right.
Not there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Sweet.
Bloody hell! All right. This doesn't matter how bad we do this. We're talking about beforehand, and there's no way we can have a worse show than the one that he didn't show up for.
Yeah, that was a fun night though.
CrowdStrike identifies new Kiss-a-Dog crypto jacking campaign targeting vulnerable Docker and Kubernetes infrastructure. Most interesting thing about this is obviously who on earth is naming these campaigns Kiss-a-Dog. I read through it. It doesn't say why it's called that. That was the one thing I wanted to figure out. It just says called. Well, all right. It's sort of, if you read the first line there, using an obscure domain from the payload, container escape attempt, and anonymized dog mining pools.
Okay.
All right, so there's kind of a slight reference to
Yeah.
dog, but why kiss a dog?
I don't know. Andy Martin actually brought up a good point. You know, you had Heartbleed, you had Apache Struts,
Mhm.
and then we kind of lost the framing. So now, like, every attack needs to have a logo and a catchy name.
I said that in my talk.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Andy Martin said the same thing. You missed it. He stole your thunder then.
He's like that.
Ah.
You know, I'm the real brains behind him.
It's a good point, though. I mean, it was the intro to Cloud Native Security Con, and it was a good kickoff.
I'll get him for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so take a look at it. By the way, all links are down below as usual. If you want to read a little bit more about it, check it out in the show notes for YouTube.
Yep. So I actually think that you can go to the next tab and then click through.
Like this?
Yeah, if you click that, and then, oh, maybe not. I got to remove you now. All right, you show the window, and I'll pull you in and out. How about that?
I what?
You like share your window?
Yeah.
You think we're tech people, but we're really not.
The problem I've got, and this is where it's going to screw up, is right now, I'm going to kick myself out.
Why?
Because it won't show the window unless it's in the same window. So I have to do it like this. Bear with us. Talk to them. Tell them a story.
Tell them the story about what? Oh, about how I didn't show up?
Yeah, I almost didn't get through security.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that one.
Oh, yeah. That was another one. By the way, is it Geek Masher online right now? Who's checking this out?
All right.
On a Saturday. All right, you got it all figured out now?
Do you see it?
Yes. Incoming. Steve. There you go.
There we go. VMware bug. 9.8 severity rating exploded.
Is this the next story? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had this one, the Witch's Brew. So this one, we chatted about this in April when it first came out. They had a couple, literally 10s and 9.8s. They had a 10 on their dashboard. I believe this one is VMware 1, which is, the one access.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess the hack is now out there. And basically, you should know if this vulnerability is in your environments, you're pretty much done for.
Yeah, this is more like foreshadowing as to what we're going to talk about later with a certain OpenSSL vulnerability. People announce these vulnerabilities. They say it's a 9.8. They tell you where it is. You get it in a release note, and you don't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, people say, hey, you know what? You didn't upgrade it. Now you're screwed.
I wonder, it's the week of vulnerabilities this week.
Yeah.
Is that because there's so many announcements going on?
I think it's competitive.
No, it's just more of we get to hide the vulnerabilities underneath all of the product announcements.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
I'll buy that.
That's my conspiracy theory for the day.
All right. Next up, what we got? DevOps roadmap.
Yes.
Oh, this is quite good. So I found this one. I quite like this. It's kind of like a step-by-step guide on how to become a DevOps engineer. Although some would argue that there's no such thing as a DevOps engineer.
DevOps is dead.
And DevOps apparently is dead. Now we're not going to dive into that, but that word was bandied about at KubeCon, much to the chagrin of people who like DevOps.
Yeah, DevOps is dead, but then you don't know DevOps like I know DevOps.
Okay,
remember that?
No.
Anyways, that was a whole other story.
All right. So either way, though, it's got a nice little product oriented with disclaimer saying, "Hey, if you don't like it, lump it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes through all the technologies in a pretty useful way, right?
Yeah, I think it does, and it's only 2 days old, 6 days old. It's a really new repo. Anybody who gives back to the community by creating a huge GitHub repo so that more people can get into the industry gets shout out.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Again, link down below.
For sure.
Are we done in this section?
I think we got one more, don't we? Or are we in the
sneak preview? Oh, new
yeah.
Chip.
Yeah, one more. This one is just a technology one that came across our newsfeed. A new chip transmits a record-breaking 1.84 petabytes of data per second. That is insane. That is basically the entire internet traffic in 1 second. Entire worldwide internet traffic in 1 second, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Now we just need some kind of infrastructure that can handle this chip.
Yeah. I mean, and we were chatting, where does this chip go? It goes probably the fiber optic cables underneath the water, like your big hubs. It'll be pretty interesting to see all that stuff. But again, like this is probably the theoretical amount.
Right. Yeah.
Or the tested amount that they've been able to max out. Realistically, it's going to hover at 50% that.
Yeah, it looks like, revolutionary anyway. Technology that does a little bit ahead of the curve.
SRE says, "Hey guys, show us more roadmap repos." That's an interesting one.
Show us more roadmap.
Right.
Maybe I think we just got heckled.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, now we get the WTF stuff coming up. You ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This one, yeah. So Twilio had a hack. They had another breach from the same hackers behind their previous hack. So somebody has it out for Twilio. Sounds like.
Do you not learn from these mistakes? It's kind of hard to learn, actually, because the June one they're talking about here was I didn't know that voice phishing was called vishing.
I'm just making up a new term for the sake of it. That's what we do in tech.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, why am I complaining? So and up the number of customers, like 209 customers, up from 163. Unauthorized activity, August 9th. It's kind of bad, but the mitigation, which is the lesson for all you kids out there, is giving. Well, they've done FIDO2 compliant hardware security keys, or YubiKeys, or just physical two-factor authentication. Because how is a company of this size?
I mean, two-factor
not having physical two-factor authentication. I have to use my YubiKey to log into all of my work stuff. Although I do work for a security company, so that probably makes sense.
That checks out.
That checks out.
What do we got next? I think. Oh yeah, I put this one in there. It was kind of an interesting one.
Is this WTF? I guess it is.
Yeah, more of a conversation. I think this could be general news, but stress is driving cybersecurity experts away from the industry. We talk about how many open jobs there are, and then we talk about how people are leaving. And is this general churn, or is this a problem with the industry?
Did you read the article?
A little bit, nearly half. Yeah, 42% of cybersecurity decision makers are considering leaving their role within the next 2 years, which one is a large timeline for tech.
Yeah, actually, they're going to leave their job anyway in 2 years.
Yeah, and then decision makers. I wonder how they qualify that, because I'm saying like cybersecurity developers. It's like, is that business?
I think that's key. These are CISOs who are probably. I'm going to profile this 42%. These are like firewall, old school cybersecurity VPs. Yeah. Or they've just cloud native transformed, and now their entire landscape is like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
not their sweet spot anymore.
Yeah,
and there's breaches and news happening all the time, and the punishments are vast thanks to things like GDPR. And they're like, what I want to do? I just want to go live on a farm.
Yeah, or I mean, I think if you adopted a little bit of maybe some DevOps specific technologies as a security person, I mean, you're gonna be highly valued too, right? I feel like the landscape's changed a little bit, so.
Let's check out what's breaking.
Yeah, ransomware.
Ransomware? I mean, ransomware is not really your fault. Most ransomware happens because of rather clever social engineering.
Yep.
And it is your responsibility, but it's not really your fault.
Although you'd be shocked at how many people came out to the booth, especially at Cloud Native Security Con, and we're talking about how they're trying to get their company into the 2010s.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I believe it.
And it's just, I think we're a little bit, let's say, spoiled to go to KubeCon and be a little bit more cutting edge. Sure. And then you talk to other industries, and it's like, we're just trying to teach people how to control vulnerabilities in containers, right? Like it's still a long way to go. I think we're maybe getting up to maturity almost with Kubernetes, hitting that plateau.
That's already a bold statement. Yeah. Okay.
You think it's further or not even close?
No, that's a pretty. Oh yeah, am I right or am I way?
I don't know. Crystal ball, where are you?
Yeah, let's just drop it there.
Yeah, and then I think for the last one,
yeah,
we're back. Fine-grained personal access tokens for GitHub. This is not a WTF.
No,
but I think it's pretty cool.
It's awesome. Let's scroll down. You get a little bit of a visual here. Creating personal access tokens. So now you can specify a little animated GIF. You can say, what repos do I want this to apply to? Whereas right now, a personal access token just gives you access to everything you have, every repo. It just applies. Now you get, if that's the only thing, you get to choose the repo, and you can see a little, in the animation, you can see you've got a lot of choices as to what you can and can't do with it. Like it was just a flat out, here's basically a virtual you logged into your entire account. And given the talk I gave about abusing GitHub workflows, and actually how some of the documentation for that GitHub provides, when it says, oh, if a GitHub workflow doesn't do what you want it to do, simply create a personal access token. That's what it says in their documentation. But they provided no ability to restrict the personal access token until now.
Yeah.
So this is very good news.
Cool.
Yep.
And then I think we're on to the crazy stuff now, right?
Let's just assume so.
Yeah. All right. CVEs, one big one coming up.
Now, what starts with the letter C?
It's a biggie. We don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's 1,000 articles. I don't know why I chose this one. OpenSSL to patch first critical vulnerability since 2016. Oh,
Yep.
which one was that? Anyway, doesn't
Harper?
matter. Harper was 2014.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That probably says in the article. But anyway, OpenSSL's project has informed users of an upcoming update. So we don't really know, right? Which is smart.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't really know because that tells me it's super flippin' exploitable.
It said it was critical.
It says critical. So it's going to be what, 9 point something or 10, right?
Critical, is critical 8 and above? I forget what it is.
I
think it depends on where you're getting your feed from. But
yeah, it doesn't matter. It's going to be big because it's just kind of rocking the cybersecurity discussion groups in LinkedIn at the moment. Really, there's a really good post by Dan Lawrence, Chain Guard, just talking about how to detect it and how to know you have the right version, because he did a little POC where it said he was using the wrong version of OpenSSL. So trying to analyze and determine that some products in your supply chain have embedded versions of OpenSSL. This is going to be almost, well, speculating, a little bit log4j, where everyone's got it embedded in a complicated application, particularly in C that's been compiled for the web, might have multiple versions of OpenSSL. So get yourself a good software composition analysis tool and figure out if you've got it there and how to fix it, because you're going to want to get that upgraded. Once we know what the hell it does. And how to exploit it.
Release is out on Monday.
And if we're lucky and it is exploitable, if we're unlucky and it is exploitable, we'll try and do that as a tool time to show you how to exploit it in your very own home.
Yeah, and Evolution OpenSSL after Heartbleed. There's a good read right there, I think, as well.
Yeah. Go check that out. Anyway, enough of that. Next
one. Yeah, we got 2 or 3 more before we wrap up. I think we have 2 more. Yeah, Windows 0 Day lets JavaScript files bypass security warnings, which I should give Windows a shout out, because there's a couple articles talking about how the Defender caught malware that was in a virtual machine running on their desktop. It was like Microsoft Defender has gotten a lot better.
Oh, it's doing like memory analysis or something.
Yeah, I'll give them that shout out. This is by Lawrence Abrams. This recently just came out. And this kind of goes with the next one, which is a Chrome one, but typical ransomware.
This says 2 more typical ransomware. To be noted, every time there's something stupid, it's JavaScript's fault.
Yep.
How many times did Kelsey Hightower say he hates JavaScript?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point of WebAssembly is
to get rid of
something.
Get
rid of some of that. I don't know.
It's just too easy. I think this is our last one.
There's one more. Oh yeah, the Chrome one. That's right. Yeah,
that's the last one. Urgent. So if you're using Chrome, update your Chrome, because there is a actively exploited 0-day vulnerability in there that basically means they're going to own your computer. So that's pretty much what happens. JavaScript sucks. Chrome is an operating system. If somebody can get the ability to run their own JavaScript in your Chrome browser, it's game over.
Yeah, I mean, Chrome is literally a sandbox for all your JavaScript applications that you're downloading from the web.
Yeah.
In Kelsey Hightower's words.
Horrible concept.
Yeah. So if they can exploit that and break out of that sandbox, you are screwed.
Yeah, that's good. Just letting you know.
Yeah, so update those browsers. I always laugh when I get on calls and people are sharing screens and it's like a red, like immediately like update. And like it's gotten so good at the updates now. It takes 2 seconds. Click it, it brings up the browser like the same way it was right after.
It'd be kind of embarrassing if we were doing this show and my browser was right.
Yeah, it would be.
Let's shoot ourselves in the foot a little bit.
Well, I mean, update your browser.
I did.
All right. Well, that's why it's not there.
Fantastic. Security professionals.
Yes. All right. So next Friday, we'll be back in our own spaces. So better production quality for sure.
Definitely.
Less
margaritas.
Yeah, it'll be 10 in the morning for me. So
it was good though.
Yeah, thanks.
He's a pro cocktail maker. Who knew?
I don't know if that's a good thing. but I'll take it.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up.
Thanks for watching the show, all the viewers now and in the future. And once again, all of the links for anything we talked about is down below if you want to click and get a detailed dive on any of it.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Steve Jaguar.
I'm Mike Foster, and we'll see you next week.